So let's talk about it. Skinny wrists, forearms with no real power. If you feel like you've tried everything and you've gotten absolutely nowhere, you're in the right place. We are about to break down a blueprint that actually finally works. I bet you've heard this a million times, right? Oh, it's just genetics. You can't change your bone size. Maybe you even wasted hours doing endless wrist curls just like they told you to and got nothing to show for it. Well, that frustration, it ends today because that advice is just plain wrong. All right, so first things first, we need to completely tear down the biggest myth that's been holding you back. This was never about changing your bones. It's about changing the muscle and all the tissue around them. And this right here, this is the core idea that changes the entire game. It's not the size of the bones in your wrist that really matters. It's the thickness, the density, and the strength of everything that surrounds them. And that is something you have complete control over. Just look at how clear this makes it. On the left, you've got the lie, the old mindset that has gotten you exactly nowhere. And on the right, that's the truth. That's the key that unlocks everything. Your wrist size is absolutely trainable. So when we're talking about getting thicker wrists, what we're really talking about is increasing your wrist density. Think of it like this. You're strengthening the tendons, you're building up all those small but crucial stabilizer muscles, and, of course, you're growing your forearm muscles. All those things stacked together are what create a thick, dense, powerful-looking wrist. And this leads us to a massive, fundamental shift in how you need to think about your training. You know those endless, lightweight wrist curls? Yeah, it's time to say goodbye to those. We're moving on to a whole new philosophy, which is a perfectly fair question, right? If the one exercise that everyone recommends is actually not the answer, then what on earth should we be aiming for instead? And boom, here it is. This is the new objective. Forget about the motion of curling a weight up and down. The real secret is to put your wrist and your entire forearm under heavy, sustained, static tension. It's about holding on for dear life, not just going through the motions. Okay, philosophy is great, but talk is cheap, right? You need an action plan. So let's dive into the actual blueprint. We've got 4 killer exercises designed to pack on that real wrist density we've been talking about. And kicking things off, we have the absolute king of all grip and forearm exercises, the farmer's walk. Seriously, there is no better, more effective way to apply that principle of loading the wrist under real, honest-to-goodness tension. And the beauty of it is just how simple it is. You grab the heaviest weight you can possibly handle, could be dumbbells, kettlebells, whatever, and you walk. That's it. No reps, no momentum, no cheating. And here's the golden rule. You got to listen to this. If your hands aren't shaking by the end, the weight is too light. Period. So what are you shooting for? Your target is to work your way up to a solid 60-second hold while you're walking. Remember, this isn't about how far you go. It's all about that time under some serious, brutal tension. All right, next up, we have what I like to call the strengthener. And it's as simple as it sounds, just hanging from a pull-up bar. This one is absolutely fundamental for building that deep, durable, resilient tendon strength from the inside out. Literally just hang. Ditch the strops, don't swing around. Just let your body weight and gravity do all the work. And what's so cool about this is that while you're building this insane grip and forearm endurance, you're also decompressing the wrist joint. We're talking about building real, lasting strength here, not some fake pump that's gone before you even leave the gym. The big goal here is to really push your endurance. You want to work your way towards a 90-second hang. Let me tell you, that is a true test of both your mental and your physical toughness. Okay, exercise number 3 is the adapter. And the whole point of this one is to force your muscles to adapt by making the grip itself way more challenging. Now listen closely, because this part is key. You don't need heavier weight for this. You need a harder grip. So use some fat grips if you have them, or hey, just wrap a towel around a dumbbell. You'll be amazed. Suddenly a pretty light weight feels impossibly heavy. This is what forces your forearms and all those stabilizers to recruit more muscle and adapt by growing stronger and thicker fast. And that brings us to our final exercise, the stabilizer. Honestly, this one is so underrated, but it is an absolute game changer for building true functional wrist stability. So picture this. You get into the top of a push-up position, but instead of being on your flat palms, you're up on your fists or on a set of parallettes. By keeping your wrist in that straight, totally neutral line, you force all those tiny little stabilizer muscles to fire up like crazy. This is how you build strength you can actually use in real life. For this one, you're going to shoot for a few sets, holding it for about 40 seconds each time. Trust me, you will feel that stability being forged with every single second you hold it. All right, so that's the whole blueprint. Simple, right? But before we wrap this up, let's lock in the key takeaways. And I've got one final master tip for you that's going to make all the difference. So here's what I want you to burn into your brain. First, that master tip. Once a week, train your forearms first in your workout, when your grip is fresh and you're at your strongest. And please, remember, skinny wrists are a sign of the wrong kind of training, not weak genetics. Stop chasing the pump with curls and start holding heavy weight. It is grip strength and stability that build true thickness. And above all else, consistency is what's going to build not just your wrists, but your confidence too. So there you have it. The myth is busted, the blueprint is clear. You have the knowledge, you have the exact exercises. So the only question left to ask is, what's stopping you from building the strength you've always wanted?